How y'all doing tonight? You ready to go? You ready to go? Wow, lots going on. First and foremost, how are you guys doing? How are you doing? How's your energy? Where are you at? Let me turn this phone and silence it. Lord of Jesus. It just told me that I went live. How about that? All right. Now, how are you guys doing? I'm laughing at YouTube right now. It just said, welcome to the live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. It was telling me that. Okay. We're still saying nights here, so give me a second, please. Hello, Miss Israel. I love you. Mwah. And how's your house? He's in the bedroom. Praise the Lord. Amen and amen. Amen and amen. Papa's in the bedroom. Go for it. Miss Israel is saying nights. Harley did. Still waiting on Bubba. We're running a little bit late tonight, guys. Just bear with me. I know y'all never complain about seeing the babies, so that's what we're doing. But hello. Did everybody get their notification? No matter how I sent it out. It was either a text message, it was a Facebook Messenger, or it was an email. Did everybody get it? Good night, Israel. I love you. Love you. Mwah. Night night. See you tomorrow. Okay. All right. So everybody got their notification that I sent it to. Well, because I sent it out to everybody that I possibly could think of and was on my list. All right. So, anywho, all right. How are you guys doing? Wow, you guys are active tonight. That's beautiful. We'll get used to it because I think starting next week, we're going to get on our permanent schedule. Monday, come on in. Oh, baby boy. It's my little man. You want to say night? I know. You see Mimi on the camera. You okay? Say hi. Oh, love, it's hot. Say hi. Say hi. You're okay. You say it night time. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah. You see Mimi? Tell him night. Tell him night. Tell him night. Say love you. Say love you. Oh, look at him. Look at your little man. Oh, I love you. I'll see you in the morning. Now I know you see yourself. Can I have a high five? Oh, awesome. Say hi, friends. Say hi, friends. They love you. Say hi, little man. Yeah, it's okay. Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay, he done. Night, Bubba Doos. I love you. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. I think that's the last of them because Harley already did hers, and Israel, and now little man. Teenagers and 20-year-olds, I think, have already come through. I think. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, busy day. Friday. It's crazy. Everybody's trying to wind down. Let's just start here. So you guys are good. Your energy's good. Here's a good question. How's the weather where you're at? Because we got some snow today. Nothing that stuck around, but it was enough to make my bones and joints cringe. How are you guys doing? All right. So, this is what we're going to do. Friday night recap. We're just going to, instead of, this is what we're going to start. We're going to try to play around with what it is that we can do to maybe better it. Okay. So, instead of doing once a month, like November stuff, we're going to do once a week on Fridays, just to recap all of the headlines for the week. And that way we can do it every few days instead of just once a month, because that's a whole lot, because it changes every day. Okay. It's cold. Yeah. Shh. Darlings. Yeah. I know, Deb. Whew. Yeah, our highs are 30s and 40s, and lows are hitting the low 20s and into the teens. So, yeah, we're doing that. Still working around the heat issue in my house, but we're going to figure it out. Lee and I know we've already started replacing all the heating system, and we're going to have to do it. It's fine, but we'll do it. So this is what we're going to accomplish tonight, and that's just discussing all the global headlines that have happened this week. And I know they're a lot, because we can go back into Trump's speech if you want to. I think we touched on it, but we can go back into that. But we've got a lot of stuff going on. I also want to let you know that I've already pulled your oracle cards for the night, for as a collective, and there are certain things that we need to talk about. Now, these are just headlines, and we can pull questions on them if you so choose. Please have your questions ready. I don't know how many of you know about it. Mr. Brunson himself filing the Supreme Court case. Have you guys heard about this? I have the printout. I have it in front of me. So if you have any questions about, this is not contesting the election of 2020. It's contesting the people that would not investigate into it. Okay. These are all the Congress members. There's 388, and that also represents Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Mike Pence, and then all the other 385 Congress members that said, no, we will not investigate, and said it didn't have, what's the term? Prudence. Yeah. It didn't have Juden's prudence. Whatever that fancy French term, whatever it is, but it meaning, well, we don't really give it much thought. So this court hearing is coming up. Supreme Court of the United States. It's been filed. This is the actual document. It's number 22-380. And they have until Wednesday to respond. And it was filed under a special ordinance that we have under our court system that says if this is not heard, it needs to be heard because of national security issues. That means it fast tracks it through the system. Okay. And the Supreme Court accepted it. That means next Wednesday, the 23rd, is the deadline for the date for prosecutors that want to come in, or they would be defendants, wouldn't they? Because they have to defend. Oh, yeah. Okay, so they're defenders. They have until next Wednesday to file a countersuit, but because it's national security, it's going to be heard by the Supreme Court. Okay, now the filing date's on here. I have the stamp. All this is in record. You can find it yourself. Now, what I do want to say before I move over to the chat room, if you want a copy of this, I have the PDF file. If you want a copy of it, please email me or text me or however you contact me, and I'll send you a copy of it if you'd like to read it. Limo's over here. He just wants to say something. Come on. Okay. Come on.
Okay.
Come on.
All right.
Here's my legal dude.
This is what I studied in at Marshall.
What's your degree in?
Criminal justice, and I got that's my major. My minor's in digital forensics, so fun stuff.
Legal studies as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what this means is, if this went as far as it has, and they've declared they need to hear this because of national emergency, what does that tell you? They have the evidence, and this is all around. I know it's kind of cool how he filed it, because it's kind of a what we call a backdoor way in. He didn't go right at the election being stolen. He went in for the people who let it happen, and which was cool. It's very good.
Denying of the investigation.
Yep. So what that means is they've saw and heard enough evidence to say, you're right. We have the evidence. We've seen it, and it did happen like you say. So that ought to give you a little comforting feeling right there, because that means that
they recognize a problem.
All this stuff that we've been claiming for what, 2 years now, that happened, and everybody else says, no, that's just misinformation. That's conspiracy theories. Well, they've seen it.
Basically, they presented enough proof to prove it.
And I will I'm not going to guarantee 100%, but my gut is telling me that the Supreme Court has already done something on this.
Yeah.
Because if they, because it takes a lot of time to look at all this evidence and stuff and say, yeah, you're right. Or, we have to investigate and, make sure. Well, I think it's already done. I think this is just, like I said, it's a backdoor way in, and it's beautiful. So,
but to put it on a level of to where it's not really a civil. It is a civil suit, but it's not really. I mean, because they're going to have to pay him and his brothers who filed the suit. They're just normal, everyday American citizens like we are that said, "Nah, I don't think so. I don't like it." It's not about the overturning of the election. It was about the 388 people that are listed on multiple pages that refuse to even investigate it to begin with. And that violates our personal constitutional right.
Okay.
And having the freedom of...
Even by federal law, if they was concerns brought up and they was evidence, at least a minimum of 10 days to go through and look at the evidence and make their decision after that. They didn't even give them 10 days. So that means that a person, just like they did, can go in and file and say,
yes,
you've interfered with my ability to have a fair election.
Basically what they did, Mr. Brunson and his brother bypassed the 10th District Court, if you understand. They bypassed the lower court system because they filed a national emergency and said this affects the whole security system of our nation. And the Supreme Court accepted it. So Wednesday, the 23rd, is the cutoff for any defenders they can respond. There's 388 people that can respond, any of them. I'm sure they've all been notified.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody that's on this list, it's multiple pages.
The ones that aren't at Gitmo already are already
right. But
swinging.
I still think this is part of optics, but it's very, very important to show the American people that this is the power that you have. You can do this, that they've accepted it. And then the Supreme Court will come in and say, we need to hear this right away. But because it's been titled National Emergency, they have to see it. And
if they've accepted it, they've already accepted it, that it's a fact. a national emergency. So.
Yep. And in here it specifically says that, and it says without further delay, we must recognize this court case. So, and that means they could hear it, and then within just a certain amount of time, very, very quickly, they can come back and go, yeah. What you need to understand is the charges being brought up against these people are complete and absolute treason and failing to recognize the rights of the people. Okay. So if they do it and it's found guilty, and it swings in Mr. Brunson and his brother's right, it means they all have to be removed from office immediately. But it also goes back to look at the election and go, well, that means now they have to stop and actually investigate the election. Now, we don't know if this is it could just be
smoke and mirrors.
It could be smoke and mirrors. We don't know. But isn't this a beautiful thing? Because it recognizes our personal rights. And they're all listed in here. But if you would like a copy of this, I would be happy to send you the PDF file to your email. Just email newbeginningstarot76@gmail.com, and I'll send you a copy. Did you speak your piece?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, one more thing.
Oh, yes. Okay.
I have come to realize that there are two things that will never change. One is time, and you can't fix stupid. So, love you guys.
Well, at least he doesn't say what I say. He says, you can't fix stupid. And I said, no, but you can kill it. But that's just Jen. But, you know.
Wow.
They love you. All right.
I'm going to go back and watch Maverick.
Yes, I figured you will. All right. All right. So, thank y'all for giving Limo a minute. Because his legal brain works overtime.
I don't like
You're
not.
You're not. You're fine.
To the legal stuff, I just
your family, you're more than welcome anytime.
Love you.
They love you. So anyway, if you want a copy of the court case, I'd be more happy to send you the PDF file because I do have it. Okay. All right. Now where were we? I need to go over here and look in the chat room because what y'all talking about? Y'all be happy to talk amongst yourselves. That's fine. Nadia's freezing her doggy. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You freezing your dog. Yeah, it's cold. Yep. Lobe and mush. Yep. How y'all doing tonight? Let's see. I already asked that question. I know. I'm just curious. Hi, Elle. Love to you and Juice. Dumplings in the house. Miss Victoria, I have a kitty. Bandit's down here in a timeout right now because he's losing his crap and he won't let the babies go to sleep. So that's why Bandit is down. He's the baby of all the cats. He's still a teenager and he's wild and crazy. So if you see him running around tearing stuff up, we still love on him. Yep. Christine, we're going to talk about that. One of the things that, like Christine just mentioned, that makes sense since they went live news breaking with Attorney General and Trump raid in Mar-a-Lago situation. Now listen. It's not what you think it is. And what I told Christine when she texted me, and I said, you need to remember two big words, and they start with D. Two Ds. Okay? Think 2 Ds. Never get distracted and never get discouraged. What happened yesterday? Okay, we'll pull cards on it. The Republicans filed an injunction to investigate Hunter Biden and the Biden situation for multiple things, whether it's trafficking, embezzling money, Remember, yesterday they filed theirs. Now they're going to investigate. Went crazy. 24 hours later, doesn't it make sense that Merrick Garland would come out as the Attorney General? The Attorney General would come out and go, well, now I have decided to create a special counsel and we're going to investigate Trump. This is a tit for tat BS. That's all you're watching. Okay. I haven't pulled cards, but I'm telling you, this is this tit for tat. That's all it is. Oh, you poke me, I'll poke you back. They're just trying to wake people up. But we'll pull cards. And if you've got a specific question of how you want it asked, please leave it in the comments. I will always tell you that. Now, okay. So some of the things that I want to focus on tonight, these are all the major stories that have happened all week long, and that's what we're going to do. But there are a couple personal questions that we want to address, and they're spiritual questions that we need to address as the collective, okay? All right. And then we're going to discuss next week's schedule again. What we will be covering, kind of a class situation of what I want to start. Oh, here's a question. Let's start there. I received this today and I haven't even opened it. And I find it funny. I have a new census that I have to fill out. I love this. Your response is required by law. I laugh at that. Has anyone else received a new census? We just did this in 2020, did we not? We just did this 2 years ago. Census reports are not supposed to come out unless you're selected at random, which, knowing my luck, I probably was. We're only supposed to do this every 10 years. Just census, if you don't know what it is, it's just to keep track of how many people do we have in our country, how many people live in each state, because that's how they allow federal allotted money to go in certain areas. Well, that's what it's supposed to be. I personally think it's a tracking situation. President Trump signed an EO order and it said everyone must respond to the census report, even if you're an illegal. Okay. I think it's just another way of tracking who's supposed to be here, who's not supposed to be here. That's my personal opinion. But I think we should pull cards. And I think I'm going to start there. Why are we receiving a census report when we just did this 2 years ago? You didn't fill them out? Don't fill them out. I do. Because I don't care. I don't care. My God, you all should know by now, I don't care. If I cared, I wouldn't be here, that's for sure. Y'all do you. As the young ones say, you do you, boo. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to fill them out. But let's just ask what the purpose of them. What is the purpose? Are they tracking people? Is this necessary? What's going on? Let's just ask. Why are we doing another census? Pretty sure, well, a lot's changed in 2 years because we've got probably 10 million people that have crossed the border. Well, let's just see. And I'm sorry, criminals and illegals do not fill out census reports. So let's just ask. Why are they asking us to do another census? And if you think they can't track you by your phone and everything else, screw the census. They already know who everybody is anyway. Thanks for nothing, NSA. But let's just ask. You know what? I'll take it, and I'll take it. I'll take it any day of the week of what they just said. I have 2 aces. It's not a bad thing. It's okay to fill it out if you so choose. I understand. Dottie may lecture me. She goes, well, if you fill that out, then you're denying your sovereignty. No, no, it's not. It's declaring your sovereignty. Think about it. I'm talking about physical three-dimensional realm. We're going to get into that too. I'm not talking about spiritual sovereignty. Two different things. Now watch. So we want to know the King of Pentacles is a family sovereign man. Okay? He's the one asking you to do it. Yes, I always refer to all the kings, can always refer to the emperor, which is Mr. T. Just asking the question. Why is this? The whole world needs to know. They're doing this in every country. They're doing it in every country. How do you think that they keep track of world population? Just simply asking. When you wake up and they say current world population, it says 8 billion people. How do they keep track of it? Census is just one version of it. Now, they do it through our false birth certificates, social security numbers, but they don't do all those systems in every country. Okay? We're breaking down the man-made system here. That's all we're asking. Like, why do they need it? Here's your pass card. Okay. The Ace of Wands is their heart and desire. The good guys, the white hats, the alliance, their heart and desire is just to know who is who and where is who. Okay? That's all they're trying to do. They have great intentions, basically. Okay? That's all they want to do. We just want to make sure that we know that you're okay. That's what I'm getting. But this gets interesting when I break it down into the current situation. And I have the Two of Cups. And I'm like, what? Two of Cups is a contract card. What does that mean? Well, Jen, we're asking you. You're supposed to answer the question. Well, what contract is formed around the census? It's a financial thing. Now, pay attention. Another reason that I said it is because we don't know who is who, correct? We don't know who is in this country. Am I wrong? And that would explain the Two of Swords, the fear of the unknown. Who's here? Are we supposed to be worried about terrorists and all that stuff? Now, remember, we're not acting on fear, but the curiosity of not knowing the truth is why you have a census. Basically, it's flipping a coin and making a bet of who's going to answer the census and who isn't. They're going to balance it out. Now watch. Here's your advice. Don't fight it. Don't fight it because they already know this. And if you don't think that they don't already know it, think again. They do. Don't fight it. Your Five of Wands. Don't fight it. Because the Ace of Cups, and that's my family ace, says we already know who you are. We already know who you are. So even if you don't fill it out, if you choose not to, and you don't have to. You don't have to. Why they're doing it? Yep, here's your confirmation. It's a trap. And that's what I got intuitively when I received the packet in the mail today. The moon, an illusion. It is not what you think it is, okay? If you're a sovereign citizen of the United States for America, then you know that you're safe, right? This is a trap. The Nine of Wands is taking a knee, going, damn it. They're setting a trap. You caught me. Your final confirmation, look at this. The Eight of Swords, it is to entrap people. Well, Jen, that doesn't seem very nice because, we don't know. Maybe some of the people that are crossing over into our country really need asylum. I'm not saying that they don't. But this is how you weed it out. Does that make sense? If you choose to fill out your census report, then fill it out. If you choose not to, then don't fill it out. You make your own decision. But the energy that I got from the envelope that I received today, maybe that's why I received it. Because I'll be honest with them, I have nothing to hide. I'm not saying that you do, but my energy says, I really don't care. You can know or not know. You're going to find, you already know anyway. So what's the point? If I'm talking in circles, please understand something. They already know it. I'm just going to fill it out. But the energy that's around this envelope that I received today is all positive, good energy. The good guy sent it out, not the bad. Does that make sense? That's all I'm going to say about that. All right. So I'm going to mark out the census. We talked about it, but that doesn't mean that no question ever asked means that you have to comply or capitulate. You do you. You're going to be fine. Let me go back up here. And I will remind you, remember, I don't see everything in the chat. And sometimes it's out of order. So if I sound like I'm talking in circles or do not understand your reply, I don't see everything. I guarantee you when I edit and go back, watch the live chat, I'll see tons of questions that I don't get. My phone is here. And if I'm not hearing you, please text it to me. By the way, I have a blinky blinky. And someone just texted me. That's what I ask you to do. Okay. Thank you, Miss Renee. Thank you, darling. Okay. It's on. If I'm not reaching you and you really need me to pull it and I'm not seeing it, just text it to me. I don't have a problem with that. It's fine. Okay? Now, let's go. What are we talking about? Y'all love on each other. This is what I love. I love to go back and see that you guys are just loving on each other. You don't need to ask me nothing. We just get together because we're having family reunion. Okay? All right. So everybody's doing good. You saw little man, and he a turd. He's a cute turd, but I love him to death. All right. Everybody got their notifications. Now see, this is what I'm talking about. I talked about that at the beginning of the show, and they're just now coming in here. All right, cold, cold, cold. And there's the temperatures. I said, how's the weather? Everybody's cold. Everybody says cold. Yep, I got it. Yeah, Victoria, you're right. Let's get the shovels out because snow's a coming. Christine, yeah, the shock today. I know it's hard, but I heard it and just rolled my eyes. I went, whatever. Dragonfly is absolutely right. Everything that they're doing right now is absolute pure genius. We just don't see it at the time. Okay? All right. Let's see. Everybody listen to Lee. And y'all love on him. And he does know what he's talking about. All right. Yep. We just, not yet, Dumb and Dumber. We're going to split hairs. Who's Dumb and Dumber? They're all dumb and they're all morons. Other than a handful of them, they're all gone anyway. Tennis match. Yeah, well, I'm sorry. The muscles in my neck cannot handle that right now. I'm just sit there and roll my eyes. I'm worried about my eye muscles right now, going, good Lord of Jesus. You know what I mean? Yep. Yep. I think there may be a little weather manipulation. And we've talked about that too. Yep. Okay. Let's get caught up. No more criminals anyway. Yeah. I mean, some of them have been selected to stay behind because it needs to be publicly done. But most of what you're seeing, They've already been removed. Would you guys be interested in knowing how they do these fancy masks or CGI? 'Cause, man, I got some websites that you can see that'll blow your ever loving mind. But I'll tell you right now, if I ever see one of me show up somewhere in public or on TV, please God, no. I'm enough. That's enough. Yes, ma'am, Nadia. All illegals have to go back home once Nasara is declared publicly. All nations will be declared sovereign. Now, there's another term that we want to address, like understanding what sovereignty is. Sovereignty in your nation, sovereignty in your personal spirit on a three-dimensional level, but what is sovereignty on a higher dimension level? Most people don't understand the term sovereign. And most people don't understand that there's multiple levels of sovereignty. Okay? Sovereignty on paper. Okay? Here's an example. Here's one example of sovereignty on paper. Understanding who you are as a citizen. Okay? That's one version. You are declaring your sovereignty. Okay? Another way is just saying, I don't even recognize the current government because I am sovereign by God Almighty. Common law above maritime law. Jen, you're losing me. Because it is. There are so many different levels of sovereignty, but the number one that I want you to get to understand is, who are you sovereign by the divine creator? Okay? But we're going to get into that a little bit more next week, because I want to make sure that I put it in terms that everybody's going to grasp. I'm not calling you stupid. I am trying to wrap my brain around it. Sovereignty in 3D, 4D, 5D, and all the way up means something different. Okay? I'll just leave it at there. But understanding sovereignty. And that's why I brought up the census tonight. Okay. Yeah, the illegals don't normally fill out these forms. That's the point. But do you understand that if you have a census report, then illegals don't fill them out? It's like the registry to vote, okay? Then if you know that there's that many people in your county or your state and they're not all registering, or there's no census on them, the census, let's go back to the history of the census. I know I'm going to keep harping on it. The census was created to keep track of the United States citizens. Who is legally able to do these things? But if you're claiming under voting and that kind of thing that I have this many citizens, whether they're registered to vote or not, if you're not found under the census, technically under constitutional law, you don't count. Am I getting anywhere? You do not count. Because this form was a sovereign form originally. I haven't opened it yet. I will let you know the next time that we talk if it's changed, because I do these. Because I look at the legal term, and boy, Lee does. I look at the terminology. You're declaring your sovereignty under the nation. Okay, this is what we want to get back to. Well, guess what? You got to fill this out if you want to be sovereign. And if you want to be recognized, well, Jenna, you done told me that I don't have to listen to the nation. You don't have to listen to the corrupt nation. But what you need to get back to is the original purpose of it was to keep track of its citizens, because if you need something, they're there for you. If you do not declare your sovereignty, honey, you're just another fart in the wind. Get out. If you can't trace you back to the original birthplace of where you're at, or naturalized citizens and green card, visa, and you took the test and you took the oath, that's what they're doing. That's why Trump signed the EO. This all goes back to sovereignty. And right now, because of the election questions that they're having, Well, if you've got this many people, well, according to the United States Census, you don't get to claim that many votes. Do you get this yet and how it's all tied together? Okay. So whoever is declared a citizen, sovereign citizen through the Census Bureau is also connected to their voting registration bureau. Okay. Now, no one can force you to vote, but they can at least go back and look at, were you even a real dude, a real woman, a real citizen? That's what they're looking at. That's why after 2 years of the last one, now we have a new one. Am I talking in circles? Does that make any sense? Joe's a fart in the wind. Well, darling, let it blow. You're all right. It's okay. That's okay. Be a fart in the wind. It's okay. Share with all. It's okay. Legal should not be helped in the ER room since money funding from government not reported in census. Well, Christine, that's a moral question. That's not a government question. That's a moral question. If I was a nurse or a doctor, sorry, I just kicked my desk. If I was a nurse or a doctor in the ER, morally, I could never turn another human being away. I couldn't do it. I don't give a crap how much money you make because I wouldn't done. The golden rule. Well, I wouldn't want that be done to me. What if I'm traveling in a foreign country and someone in my family gets hurt or sick, and they just look at me and go, "Well, you're not a citizen. I'm not helping you." Now we need to split hairs. What is a moral obligation, and what is a legal obligation? But under the true Constitution, there are a flat tax fee to pay for those that just can't do it. And that's okay. No, it is not socialism. We pay a little extra into everybody's pocket. It's what we're supposed to be doing. You always pay a little extra. And healthcare, technically, will be mostly free because Big Pharma goes away. Okay? Healing. We're going to get into a whirlwind of questions here. But based on your question, I think we need to ask ourselves, what is the moral standard? And on that, thank you, Wings. And I really didn't want to touch on that. He says, no, do it because people need to be reminded. Do you remember, most of us are older generation here. So let's ask yourself, anytime that you've ever entered an ER or a doctor's office and it said no one shall be turned away due to the race, the creed, their financial status, right? Federally, they cannot turn you away, no matter if you've got money or not, right? Whether you're a citizen, it didn't say. It just says we will not turn anyone away, right? Anybody pay attention to when they took the signs down? When did they take them down? Because they did. When did they take them down? 2020, when COVID hit. Because if you don't comply, you don't get services. Think about it. Where did the morals go then? It had nothing to do with morality. It had to do with compliance. So change it. If you don't comply with our rules, then fuck you and you can crawl off and die somewhere. That's what they said. But up until 2020, those federal guidelines that have to be posted in an ER or a doctor's office says we don't turn anybody away due to race, creed, color, sex, orientation, blah, 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 financial status. That's what it said until COVID hit. And then it turned into you'll either do as we say or fuck you. That's what it said. So the morality went out the window 2 years ago. Now we're coming back. That's why they want amnesty, because they don't want to face Nuremberg trials 2.0. Pay attention. Just saying. I'm watching. Yeah. Morally, ethics, we treat. You're supposed to just treat anybody. It doesn't matter what your situation is. It's a life-threatening situation in ER. You do whatever you got to. Hi, everyone coming in. If I have not said your name, shout out to everybody. Made a minor under 12. Nadia, I totally missed what you were. Maybe I should scroll back up. Made a minor under 12. Are you trying to say that they've changed the definition of what a minor is? I don't know. I'm just getting energy. You just tell me. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Yeah. Dumpling is totally right. Yeah, you can spend. Okay, so they make the hoops bigger to jump through when you don't have insurance. Because believe me, I've been there. Top of the line military insurance, greatest thing ever. They pay for everything. Nobody questions anything. You even personally request it without the doctor, a test to be run. Daggone, yes, we will. Because it's about money. Now, if you're on Medicaid, Medicare, whatever, now they look in and go, well, let's just go see what your doctor says. There's no morality in the medical field anymore whatsoever. It's not what it's supposed to be. Now, we're going to flip that, but it's not going to change overnight. So let's pay attention to when it changed, and it has to do with morality. But Christine asked a morality question. There is no morality in healthcare. There's only a financial question. That's it. What can you pay for and how much can I get out of you? And if you die, they made a law. Now I can get more out of you if you die. Hello, COVID. Hello, $29,000 for every death on a respirator and given, what is it called? Redemisphere? Yeah, I'm not hiding nothing on my channel. Because then it became, I get more money out of your death than your recovery. Pay attention to it. And now it's all coming to light. Barter services. Well, I'll tell you what, Lee and I actually just talked this evening. I was mentioning Nadia, and I said, it will be a beautiful day that when we get back to doing a bartering service where take a basic farmer's market. I grow corn, you grow beans. Let's just barter and you exchange. And no money's ever touched. It's about humanitarian. Wouldn't that be cool if it was in every aspect of our lives? Whether it's the grocery store or the medical, or hey, 3 rolls of paper towels for 4 rolls of toilet paper. I don't know. I mean, I'm just putting something out there, but no money is exchanged because if you cut money out of the middleman, the big dogs can't get any money whatsoever. Does that make sense? Farmers do this all the time. I raise cattle. Here's a cow for the year. You raise pigs. I get 2 pigs. How easy is that? Throw in 16 quarts of green beans and we'll make it even. Can we not get back to that? That is beautiful. I just think it's beautiful. Cut out the big dogs. Let the little guys do their crap and basically do this to the big dogs. Well, wait, but you didn't report that and you didn't, but I don't get anything. Well, that's the point. I did the work. I raised the cow. I weeded the garden. It ain't none of your damn business how we exchange. Stay out of my damn business. That is what we need to get back to. Does that make sense? I know. Jen's on a tangent tonight. She's just yapping. She ain't pulling cards. What do you want me to pull cards on? I know. Lee walks in here and he just laughs and he goes, "Yeah, of course she's on a tangent. That's what she does." Yeah.
Wouldn't have you any other way, babe.
Rendemisphere. Yeah. It took me a minute to get the words right, but yeah. I'm trying to forget those nightmares. But some people are not that privileged to just forget. You know? Lost a cousin, a marriage, because that's what they did to him. Lee's nephew, actually. Was it his? No, it wasn't his nephew. It was his cousin. And I grew up with him, graduated with him. One of the sweetest men you'd ever meet. And they killed him. They killed him. Putting him on a Rendemisphere, and they put him on a vent. And to this day, I won't speak to the rest of the family because his wife was an RN and followed along with it. My opinion. I won't. Mary, Lexington lady, you are correct. When you're in the city, you are limited of what you can do. But I'm basing this on the future and what we are envisioning for ourselves. If you simply just look at the opportunity to either buy land, Nadia and I have talked about it. We want to buy land and do a co-op, and somebody raises herbs and vegetables and somebody raises cattle, and we all just work together.
She lives in a city?
Yeah, she was explaining that she lives in a townhome. She can't do anything. She, like, what do you barter when you don't have anything? You barter your time. You barter your time. Maybe you can give up your time to go and string green beans for a day.
What does she do for a living?
Most people in here, I'm not getting into personal business.
Oh, well, I'm just saying.
But I'm saying most people in here are retired or disabled, and so.
Well, that's a wealth of knowledge.
I know. Well, yeah. I mean, you could barter your own wisdom, honey.
Well, that's no joke.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no joke. Somebody doesn't know how to do something, and you know how to do it.
You know what? At the end of the day, you know what I would do? I would go out and pick green beans for the day if somebody watched these heathens for me for a couple hours. I mean, you barter everything.
I would say 2 days.
2 days?
I would do 2 days for these.
For these heathens?
Yeah.
He's just teasing. But you know what I mean?
I love him.
It's just, we can barter anything that you can offer. You can barter your wisdom. You can barter your spirituality. You can barter your company. This is what people do. Well, it's a Southern thing to me personally. You know what? I'd give anything to go sit with an older person during the day and listen to 6 hours of wisdom. And you know what they only asked if you bring in return? Hey, darling, can you bake me a pie? Bake me a pie. Just bake me a pie. And then you sip sweet tea and eat pie while they talk. And that is the greatest bartering system there ever was. Why should there be strings attached? It's not written in stone. It's not that you don't have to. It's just what we do. I will give you this if you give me that. What do you guys do every holiday season? Let's say that, whether it was now or 20 years ago, doesn't matter. When you get together as a family and you have a holiday dinner and you say, unless you're like me and you do everything, you say, I'll bake the turkey and you bring the green bean casserole, or you bring, this is bartering. This is what you do. It's not an old system. We still do it, but we don't really think of it that way. Okay? Bartering, trade, whatever. We all get together and agree to eat, but potluck dinners are a bartering system. I'll bring the salad for the 4th of July cookout. You grill the hot dogs. We do this every day of our lives and we don't think about it. Does that make any sense? Nadia, amen and amen. If I could get Barb to leave New York, I would. I want her to jump in that RV and just drive to me at this point. I know. Just making cranberry salsa. So they see, I bought a turkey the other day and I got it for $12 because Jen's slick. Babysitting children. Anything. Anything. We do this constantly. We just normally do it with our own family members. But now take that concept and put it on a broad spectrum. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what we could do? I'm just saying. Mary was a great skipper in school. I did it every once in a while, but I actually tried to stay in school to stay away from my family. That was sad. But Southern hospitality, it is a Southern hospitality thing. You know what? If you get a new neighbor that moves into the neighborhood or you do anything, you always take something. It can be cookies, even if it has to be, it's gotten a little newer since the old days. Everything used to be homemade from scratch. Now, even if you just thought that counts and you go to the store and pick something up. But I will tell you this, if you take something to somebody's house, family, new neighbor, whatever, there's a rule. Let's say that I bake a pound cake and I take it to the neighbor that just moved in. I take it and go, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you ever need anything, and I automatically have a post-it note with my phone number on it and I hand it to them. If you ever need anything, I'm right here. I did it when I moved in and all of my neighbors appreciated it because they were all elderly. And every year I've shoveled all their walks, raked all their leaves. I've done everything. But you know what? They have always made sure that my babies were safe running around outside. And you know what they return? They bake cookies at Christmas. They give hand-me-downs. One man just cleaned out, and he retired, and he cleaned out his whole garage and gave Lee thousands of dollars worth of tools. These are things that neighbors do when they know they can lean on each other. But in the South, the Southern thing is, if you take a dish over to somebody, they eat it, they wash it. What's the rule when you return it? It's never returned empty. Never. Ever. You don't say, hey, I washed your dish, here it is. Nope. You look at the dish and figure out what dish you can return it with something in it and say, but I baked you this, and you return it. Maybe you took a pound cake dish, a loaf pan, and filled it full of cookies, but you returned it. It's a Southern thing. Maybe it is, but it's just what we do. It's almost unheard of and unspoken and against the law and religion here in the South that you return an empty dish. Never. Now, if it's a financial struggle, people will recognize that because you can return it and go, I apologize, but I owe you one. The IOUs are real here in the South. And you do. And it may not be returning another pound cake. It just means we'll get out and rake your leaves. And that's what we do. It's the bartering system. We still do it to this day. It's just not called the same thing. Does that make sense? Victoria? Yeah. You don't have to be Southern. We can rename it. We just call it Southern because pretty much everybody does it. Not everybody does. If I went to New York, where you guys are from, I may not get the same hospitality, but that doesn't mean that you don't have the same morals and values. So we can rename it to, well, it's a morality thing. People nowadays are too busy, too tired, too spoiled, too narcissistic for whatever reason. They'll take the cookies in the dish and go, thanks, and you'll never hear from them again. I think that's why Rubbermaid was created, just so you could send it in the plastic dish and never have to worry about the the Corral ever being returned. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, Nadia, you're correct. In the Middle East, you don't leave a house on an empty stomach. You know what the first thing I say to guests, which is always just family and just normally my babies, are you hungry? Have you eaten? What do you want? They could have, my son, who is with his wife in North Carolina, they'll come in for a visit. The first thing I say, are you hungry? Have you eaten? Look at you, you're too skinny. Even the year that he gained 60 pounds, and he was like, what? Well, because I'm your mama. He learned they stopped going out to eat before they came here because I'm still going to fried chicken and you're going to sit down and eat because you ain't leaving this house. And if you do, you've got buckets full of stuff that you're going to take with you. And he used to just roll his eyes when he first moved out. And he goes, Mama, really? Yes, because that's what Mama does. Because Mama won't sleep tonight until she knows that she has physically seen you eat. It's a thing. Tupperware. Yes, thank God for Tupperware, Victoria. Whew! The disposables. I ain't spending $50 on a Corel dish or some big fancy ceramic casserole dish and it never get returned. Sounds a little greedy, but no. That's why we have Tupperware. Deb, I agree. Our new earth is going to be so beautiful. Yeah. I got a cat losing his mind. Bandit's crazy in there. All right. All right, guys. I promise you I'll pull cards. So, now, so here's a personal question. It's not political. Let's ask Spirit. Will we actually hear trumpets to call the light workers to duty? I think it's a beautiful question. I have heard many, many trumpets in my day, and it was on a personal level. I've had many other light workers that I worked with heard the same trumpets. But if you ask, you know, John and Jane Doe down the street, they didn't hear nothing. So let's just ask Spirit, will the light workers actually hear a physical trumpet? Okay. People have got different definitions of what they think that is, and we're not getting into a religious battle tonight, but will the light workers actually hear a call to work? First of all, I'm pretty sure you're already working, even if you have that question. But are there physical trumpet sounds that the universe will provide that we will hear? So let's just ask that. All right. Yes, but it's not our generation. Let me explain. Don't freak out on me. Yes, but it's not our generation. We already heard our trumpet calls, whether that was a physical thing or not. Nope. You know who's going to hear the trumpet call? Our baby star seeds. Now let me explain. Who's going to be the one to do it? Now he's just the representative. This is not the man himself, but the energy around him. The emperor, okay? The white hat, the alliance, the off-worlders, the beautiful positive light and energy that surrounds this, okay? That's who we're talking about. It is not us. This is why I say it. They're calling the babies, the pages, to deliver the message of the cup with the truth. They're side by side with him. In the past, do you want to know who's blowing the horn? You want to know who's blowing the horn? The energy and spirit of, I didn't say Gabriel, I'm not getting into all that. The spirit behind the trumpet comes from the divine feminine, Mother God is calling Her babies. This is beautiful. As a collective, as a community that are manifesting this, that know what their job is, right? All right. Don't lose sleep over it. They'll hear it. Because their heart and desire and that Ace of Wands, they know exactly what to listen for. You have nothing to worry about. It's not, my nose is itching so bad because Spirit's so strong right now. It's just one of my side effects that I have. That's why I sneeze. Yep. This is beautiful. Okay. Because as a collective, we're manifesting. Okay. Not pentacles. This has nothing to do with money. Because we are a fast moving collective military force, an army. As a collective, we are manifesting this. Justice will be served, and to balance it out, they'll be called because of their soul contract. That's the Lover's card. And if we're not talking about physical lovers, like, man and woman, we're talking about a contract. Yep. So they will hear the trumpet. You may not, but if your babies and anybody that has, and you may, I'm not saying that it's totally, I didn't get a big fat no that you won't, but it's meant for the younger generation. Okay. If that makes any sense whatsoever. Yes, we all are her babies, but the main target right now are the younger generation. Okay. I didn't say that you won't hear it. Just pay attention more. But as far as a physical loud trumpet that they may hear, if the little ones start going, did you hear that? Did you hear that? Pay attention. The younger generation, I think, will hear it even more than we are. But we have to have ourselves set in a way that when they ask, what was that? And we say, what did you hear? You need to be ready to go, well, this is what you heard. And you need to explain to them how they're supposed to approach it. You already got your trumpet's hearing. You already got it. You just don't know what form it was in. I got mine. I already did it. Now, if you personally want one, request one. What's wrong with that? Request it to mother. Request it to father. Just look at the spirit and say, I respect you, but could you please let me know? The answer is either yes or no. But with the baby pages, no, it's for the younger generation that need to be activated. Starseeds need to be activated. That's what I'm getting. We're all her children. She's like, but you wouldn't even have the ability to ask that question if you didn't already know that it existed. We're talking about the babies that aren't quite sure how to connect. You already know how to do it. You already know how to connect to spirit. So just use that ability. And if you need a personal request, hey, it's like being in a hotel and say, hey, can you give me a wake up call at 6 a.m.? Just ask. But the energy from that question are for the starseeds. It's to activate them, to activate their soul contracts. With that Lover's card and the contract, you are yes, Nadia, you are already working. You don't need to hear a trumpet because you're already active. But what it was saying was, it was the ones that are here, they know they're different. We grew up that way too, right? I know I'm different. Not quite sure why. The starseeds coming in now just need a little bit of, now they've got us as, well, some of them do, like my grandbabies. They've got a guardian that's going to look over them and go, when they go and say, Mimi, I heard a horn. I heard a horn. What does it mean? I will know what that means. And I'll say, well, you need to listen. And then the meditation and the techniques that they can learn. And these babies hear and see things all the time. I'm not worried about them. But a physical trumpet sound, most likely you've already heard it. But request one. If you feel that you need one, request it. Mother's not going to tell you no. Unless, she could tell you no, but why would she? Like you said, we're all her babies. Just say okay. But it just probably won't be in the same form as the littles. Does that make sense? Okay. So we've gone from Tupperware to trumpets. What else do we want to talk about? I hope that helps. And if it doesn't, I'll be happy. You know, Nani and I, we talk every day. So we'll go into it a little bit more. And if you want to do it, if we want to pull on a more personal level, we can do that too. It's not a problem. All right. So here's what I've got. Yes, you are the mentors for them. You are molding and helping. And it's more, well, it's not that you're such a big influence on how to make them go in the direction. You can't force these babies to do nothing. They're going to go. It's, you can call it, you may look at it as a rebellion. No, they're going to go where they need to go. I was one of the most rebellious teenagers there ever was, and told my whole family, fuck you, because I don't believe in any of crap what you're saying. And they hated me. And then I was prophesizing stuff and told them what was going to happen with the family and stuff. And then they started looking at me, and guess what? Then they stayed away from me because now I'm just freaky. Now she's the freak. She's the black sheep of the family. Welcome to my world. Please don't do that to these babies. If they sound crazy. And you know, some of the greatest people that will be affected are our special needs children. If they're on the spectrum, through autism, Asperger's, if they have Down syndrome. Do you know some of that? Those are the greatest, strongest star seeds you could ever find. They are meant to be that way because they're not distracted by worldly crap. Does that make sense? Pay attention. Just pay attention. Everybody still talking. Trumperware. Ooh, did we just create a new word? Trumperware. We need Trumperware. We put all the intel in a container and give it to somebody else and say, hello, welcome to the neighborhood. This is from Trumperware. Did we just create something? Is crypto for good or more controlling people again? Well, currently or later. Crypto eventually, now we will pull cards. Crypto eventually will be how everybody does it. The rainbow currency everybody's talking about, the reevaluation, we will that temporary money that you can tangibly touch is only temporary. Eventually everything will be digital because it's through quantum. Okay? It's through the mind and technology. Okay? So let's ask the question, is crypto okay currently? Because we just saw what happened with the Ukrainian stuff. This is why I won't touch crypto right now personally with a 10-foot pole. That's just me. I would rather have something tangible I can hold in my hand. If it's not a physical bond that arrives in my hand, I want the physical silver in my hand that's in my safe. I will not touch it. If I can't see it, touch it, move it around. This is why I hate Lee's retirement, the 401k, all of that, the IRAs, all that. We can't touch it. We're not allowed to do nothing with it. No, it doesn't exactly give me good feelings. Let's just currently ask, is crypto currently okay? We've done this a while back, like which one specifically would be mirrored and they'd be okay. Okay, because we've heard about Bitcoin, all right? We've heard about, what are some of the, we've got the lobster wallet. There's lots of things going on. Let's just ask, in general, is crypto safe right now? Me personally, and like I said, that's me personally, I won't touch it. I just won't. Because until I know that the stuff has been cleaned up, I want to be able to have it in my hand, if that makes sense. That means if I wake up the next morning and it digitally disappears, I have no way of controlling it. Now, if you break into my house and try to break into my safe, well, sorry, you be dead because I'll kill you. But if my silver is out of my safe, then I know that I have what I have actually lost. Does that make sense? See? Okay. So, from what I'm getting, I'm going to explain this to you. I said, is crypto okay right now? And it says, well, some of it is, but quite a few will be heartbroken. Now, let me explain. Okay. Now, the Four of Pentacles, that's holding on and being very conscientious about your finances. I really need to know where my money is going. That's just us asking the question. I want to make sure where it's going. Being conscientious of where your money's at. Okay. Holding on. Okay. Now, beautiful outcome with, well, in some aspects is watch. When you think that you've got the freedom, this is the Queen of Cups. So she's like very bountiful. She's very confident. She feels good about it. Like the message is great. It's fine. In the past, you got another great divinity when it comes to the female, the Queen of Wands. But Queen of Wands is also very mysterious and she's very careful. She's got hearts and desires, but she's cloaked. She's like, because burn once, shame on you. Burn twice, shame on me. Now here, this is the current right now situation. Here's your card. The Three of Swords. And that's heartbreak and disappointment. You're going to see a lot more of this. We don't know which ones because we didn't specifically ask. We're just talking about it in general. Many people will be disappointed and disheartened. We need to understand the balance of how to balance our money. Where do we put it? Which one do we put it in? That's why I said, to me personally, it means tangible. I can touch it. This is just finding balance. Your advice, you're going to wait and hear. There's your Four of Cups. You're going to wait and hear what the universe has to say about it. Okay? That was sitting right beside that balance card. Well, you're just going to have to wait and see, because if you've already invested in it, if you're not moving it to something you can, like commodities, if you're in the stock market, you would invest in commodities because it's safer. Does it have a bigger payout? No. But it's safer because I can tangibly touch it. Now, Temperance is the other advice card, and it just simply says you're going to have to be patient. This is an ongoing process. Let's do your confirmation. Okay. So we still have a little bit of iffiness when it comes to crypto right now, because it says it's an off-worlder because it's digital. It's off-world. Can't see it, can't touch it, can't feel it, can't do nothing. Okay. It's off-world. We want to go quantum. Now, once it goes quantum, then you're in control. We ain't there yet. You know why? Because this guy showed up, and that's the King of Cups. Lots of secrets and no boundaries. Why do you think all the crap with Ukraine just happened? I won't try to convince you that I know the acronyms of whatever was just lost and who claimed to file bankruptcy and who claimed and ran off and went to Bermuda. I don't know. I don't know the acronyms. XYZ, elemental P, something crashed because they had no boundaries, because they don't have the quantum system. Okay. So we wait for the contract to come in, and that's your RV. Okay. That Lover's card is a contract. Pay attention to what you're investing in. You may get a higher turnout, and how are you going to know if they ain't going to screw you over just like that one and just take it and run? I'm still a physical, tangible. Lee and I don't have credit cards, so if I can't afford it, we don't buy it. If I don't have the money in my wallet, we don't have the money in the bank account. It's not a physical, tangible thing. We don't buy it. We do not believe in credit cards. We just don't. If I can't physically, tangibly touch it and deduct and actually have to do math without interest rates, then we don't touch it. Do we suffer because of it? Well, in this modern day world, yeah, but I won't. I'm not doing it. I'm not risking my family. And you charge me $100, and then in 3 months you charge me $300. I'm not doing it because I can't afford it. I'll be drowning every day. You think I'm drowning now? Think about what you're doing to yourself if you do everything on credit. Now I know everybody's just praise the Lord, the RV's coming and it all gets erased. But right now I'm a realist and I don't see that tangibly in my hand. When it happens, great. And right now, I need to know whatever we make, whatever Lee's paycheck is what we have to work with. And that's it. That's it. Now, that's me personally. If you feel a little bit more comfortable, you've got assets otherwise, go for it. He's losing his marbles. He needs to calm down. All right. Let me go back. Hi, Michael. How you, honey?
Hi,
All
Michael.
right. Y'all melting your silver down. You know what? Hey, we got to kill a vampire. At least we got some silver, right? But it's in my hand.
Hey,
Is that Elon, the Trojan horse? Is that what we're asking, Michael?
silver.
Oh, hell yeah. It's got a history in itself and all spirituality and everything. Silver is everything.
That, I believe, one day is going to become more valuable than gold.
Oh, I agree with that. But I also agree with the spirituality because people take collided, what is it? Is it called? I don't want to mispronounce. It's called collided silver. But people actually ingest silver. It's good for the body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They even make like blankets that has that silver in it. That it's like a healing thing.
Well, it's no different. You know who are the people that came out with the arthritis stuff? That they're copper bands.
Oh, I need.
Everything's based on like precious metals.
Yeah.
Well, duh.
I need like 1,000 of those.
Well, I need to become the Tin Man and be dipped in it or something. So, yeah. If I can pay for it, then that's what I'll do. Magic Mike. Michael says hi. Magic Mike. He's so funny. Hi. Collateral silver. Thank you, Christine. Yeah. Silver over gold for me, too. Yeah. I believe silver is going to be the greatest asset ever harvested out of Gaia, Tara. Absolutely. Yep. All right. Now, Michael had a question about Elon. Michael, is Elon the Trojan horse that's causing it? Do you think because he bought out Twitter that that's going to cause everything to start collapsing? Is that what you're asking me? Give me a very specific question and we'll ask Taro. How do you want me to put that? Is Elon the Trojan horse? Trojan horse to what? Taking down crypto? Because people have invested in these companies, I guess. You're allergic to silver? Naughty is a vampire. You heard that first here. I'm teasing. That's why she goes out and karaoke's every Friday night, late at night, when no one really sees her doing it. So a lot of people are allergic to precious metals. Some people, like my daughters, cannot wear like earrings or jewelry that are precious. They can't do it. I guess my kids are vampires too. Whatever it is, it's just the chemicals in your body. Whatever the alkaline measurements of your body just go against it, and it's not uncommon. Twitter, Elon is restructuring. Yeah, we all know that. Yep. Did Q just post? Q just posted. Okay. We'll stop there, Michael. Well, be patient, Michael. You readjust your, oh, there he is. He was an X app and he has a Neuralink and Starlink, and which is not for humanity's benefit. So are you saying Elon's bad, bad, bad? You just tell me, and I'll address the question that way. But in the meantime, the Q boards, the Q maps have gone live, and Q just posted live right this minute. Would you like to know? Okay, Michael, we will ask that question. All right. Runbeck. Runbeck, is that a, we'll have to look that one up. Is that a name? Dominion. Okay, they're going to go after these election. SOS offices. Secretary of State. I have to remember the acronyms and how Q decodes it. Secretary of State offices. Investigators, and this is just going down the line. Researchers. Whistleblowers. Patriots in trusted positions. That would be our community. Trust yourself. Intuitive. You have seen the truth. Time to show the world. Focus. All caps. Focus. Ascension. Love Q. What are we doing, guys? Do you have a way to forward that to me?
Yep.
Please do. Wow. Okay. So Michael wants to know if Elon's bad.
I'll send it to your chat.
That's fine.
Is that good?
That's fine. All right. So Q just posted, and they ended it with ascension and talking about the truther community. We know what we're doing. Keep doing it. And it's probably one of the reasons I haven't been taken down yet. All right. Christine, I told you that earlier. You know, I've talked about ascension. You can't ascend if you're so distracted, and if you have a tendency to have a knee-jerk reaction to everything you see and hear, then you need to rebalance yourself. Because I hear this crap and I just walk by and go, whatever. Because there's no effect on me whatsoever. It doesn't matter. I just recognize what they're doing and I leave it alone. You can address it later, but I don't go, oh my God. You know, we just don't. Let's get to Michael's question, as I promised him. Is Elon bad? What can you tell us about Elon Musk, Spirit? Is Elon bad? What can you tell us about Elon? I don't know why my gut, I keep getting illusion cards, but let's see. One gets spit out. Don't fall. Don't fall. I'm not bending down to pick. No, two fell. I'm not bending down to pick it up. All right. Have fun, Miss Nadia. Sing your heart out. She's going to go sing Tom Petty's I Won't Back Down for us. Thank you, Nadia. I forgot you, Michael. Sorry. Breaking news. Breaking news. Welcome to Runbeck. This is what we needed to understand what Runbeck was on the Cupas. Runbeck Election Services. Since 1972, Runbeck Election Services has preserved the integrity of the American democratic process. Whatever. We partner with cities, counties, and states to provide a trusted election experience with technology printing equipment. Hey!
Remember I told you the van
that
went into the printing company? That's Runbeck.
And software solutions that are accurate, transparent, and efficient. As a company founded and completely run in America, we are defending democracy. No, you're not. You have a trademark. You're a corporate situation. One ballot at a time. Or 50 or 100. Yeah. Okay, so now we know what Runbeck is. All right. All right. All right, Michael. Here you go, darling. Elon. 2 cards get spit out, so we're going to lay them down first, okay? Well, you ready? All right. We're just simply asking the question. Okay. Right now, Elon is represented by the Knight of Pentacles, manifestation of what he's doing and the turnaround with the company. Okay. He manifested buying it. He did it. He turned it around. We're just simply asking the question. Okay. But now you have the Queen of Wands, his spirit. What is he doing? Well, now she's very integral. That's the Queen of Wands. We just saw her. Means, but she's kind of a mysterious queen because she's cloaked. Okay. But maybe not know a whole lot about her, but her heart is pure. Okay. So that's what's telling us about Elon. His heart is pure and his desire is to get this accomplished. Now, who is he getting it accomplished to? Well, if Sean's not going to come in here and yell at me or nobody else will, I'll say the sheeple. The baby pages that really, really want a new beginning, because that's another wand, but this is manifesting a new outcome. Okay. People just don't know quite sure what to do. Now, here's the past card. This is his dream always. And that is we the people. Okay. That's my we the people card. The family aspect, another wand. The passion, desire, and where the heart is. Okay. We the people, it's in the past. That's what he wanted to do. But now he realizes now he's hitting a new audience. Okay. And that's the new ones that are walking in going, I don't understand what's happening. Okay. But here's the thing. There's something very mysterious about what he's doing. Not him as a person, because I don't get this. Now, the moon is very mysterious, and it's an illusion card. He has played both sides. He's playing both sides. It's not what you think it is, okay? So whatever you're reading, what you just told me, don't think that it's completely what you think it is, because it's not. Moon means illusion. It's not what you think it is. And beside of it, this guy comes up, and we know what he means. The hangman. Be patient. But it will come out of what he's actually doing. What is he actually doing? Wheel of Fortune. He's turning the whole narrative around, okay? Remember, none of us could get on the Twitter. I got cut off years ago. Whatever. They hated me. I was one of the first ones they thrown out. Surprise. But he's there to turn it upside down. But you're going to have to wait to see, because of the illusion that you're seeing and the stories you're hearing. Wait to see what he's actually doing, okay? But his intentions are for we the people. Now, here's your confirmation, Michael. There's a reason he's doing it. Because he signed a contract with this is an off-worlder card too. That's our White Hat Alliance off-worlder card. He signed a contract to agree to do this, okay? Whether he spent a personal 45 billion to buy this, who cares? I'm not getting any pentacles. It's all wands and cups. He signed a contract to grant our wish because we wanted our freedom of speech back. Correct? From we the people, right? Here's your final card. It will all, if you'll be patient and wait with the hangman, it will lead you to the Six of Swords, and that's moving the truth. Will move you out of troubled waters. You will find out the truth. Okay? And that leads me to something. I'm sorry, Michael, if that didn't answer your question. I like your base card. You want your base card? Okay. Here's your base card. All right? Remember the 10 of Wands. Okay? Don't carry all that burden on your shoulders, but 10 of Wands also means well aspected. It's all coming to an end. There's a reason for it. It's a conclusion of the situation. Okay? I hope that helps, Michael. If it doesn't resonate, give it time, honey. The hangman came in there and said, just be patient. I know you're fired up and your energy's there and you want to fight. Darling, sometimes needs to be laid down and just let it go. Let it run its course. Okay? So let it go. It's about exposure and letting the truth come out. So we just need to let it go. But it kind of reminds me of something that I heard earlier. Now, one of the mainstream newspapers, everything's digital now, but you know what I'm saying, a newspaper. The headline was Anons. Well, it said QAnons, but we are not the same thing. There's Q and then there's Anons. We are the Anons. We're just anonymous, everyday citizens trying to speak the truth, correct? This was the headline. QAnons no longer conspiracy theorists, but truth tellers. Not going away anytime soon. Huh? What? Because of when they came out yesterday and said that they, over Hunter's laptop, and they were going to expose for human trafficking and that kind of stuff. Well, we've been talking about that for how long? And now that it has reached Congress and Congress is putting it out into the mainstream media, now they're putting it back on us going, well, then Anon freaks are now actually telling the truth. That's what they're saying. Well, yeah, because we have been. Duh. My question and what I wanted to ask Taro is this the White Hats and Alliance finally recognizing us as the collective spiritually in the mainstream media as vindicating our truth telling? We could have done without it. We probably would have kept fighting. But I also saw, and I think the Alliance saw, everybody's knee-jerk reaction from Tuesday night and said, oh, hell no, I'm done. And they threw in the towel and said, fuck you, Trump. That's what they did. And then they slept on it and then calmed down and went, okay, I just need a minute. Now we're back on track. But at the end of the day, it still doesn't matter what Trump does. It's about what we do as a collective. What I wanted to know from Taro, does that mean that the White Hats or the Alliance are vindicating us for the work that we've put in all these years? Based on that headline alone, I would like to know. It every once in a while, even though I've said we don't worry about pats on the backs, you know what? Every once in a while, we need good validation of what we're doing, why we're doing it. You don't have to agree with me. Maybe that's self-centered to you. I don't. Positive reinforcement. Just saying. All right. You're welcome, Michael. All right. So let's just ask, are we being vindicated and validated for all the work that we're doing because now the headlines are going to change? Let's just simply ask. Yeah, we've been faithful. We've been loyal. We have stuck by knowing what has actually happened with the deep state cabal, never backed down, always preached about it. And they always said, well, you just daggone conspiracy theorist. Really? And now they're going, the headline was QAnon no longer conspiracy theorists, but truth tellers. What? Hey. So let's see. Are we being vindicated? I'll take it. I will take that any day of the week. Yeah. Don't get too cocky. Okay? Don't get too cocky. They're going to be drop this out. Don't get too cocky. Don't run with it. Be confident. Don't be cocky. You understand the difference? Because it was about child trafficking. And remember, that's my humanitarian and my littles card. Remember? And that's what we're talking about. That's the topic that flipped everybody and went, well, they've been talking about this for a long time. Could it be true? That's the question we're asking. I know y'all don't want to see this guy come up here again, but I'm telling you, he did. Hangman. But wait, be patient, reposition yourself, and just hang on. Okay? In the past, yes, You were treated that you were delusional or illusion. You were full of illusion. You didn't know. This is the past card. You were treated that way. You don't know what you're talking about. Y'all crazy. It's just the past. But now the public and the press, the mainstream media, see they went from this, you're delusional and illusional, to this, and that's the Ace of Pentacles. And it says, you manifested what was going to happen. Now you will be recognized and rewarded for it. So yes, white hats are rewarding us because we manifested it. Pentacles is a reward. It's not tangible money. It's just a reward because we manifested the earthbound pentacles of this truth is going to come out. In the past, they said you're nuts. Current says, oh, they dead on, because that's the ace. Okay? You with me? And I was asking, was it the white hats who did it? And who's going to continue following us? The Q thing that he just brought to me at the end, and it said ascension, what we've been talking about. You can do your nickel and diamond and doing truth all day, but until you mention the spiritual and ascension now, and to mention the truthers, keep doing what you're doing. I'll take it. King of Pentacles, the family man, a man of integrity, knowing where you come from, the strength of manifestation, because he's under the ace in the reading. Oh, you're damn straight. The top line of the top line, and I always love, Wings always says, he says, but look at the wings. Look at the wings on my arms. Yep. This is huge. Here's your advice on what you're supposed to do, and take this with you as advice. Because we got recognized in one storyline, don't let it go to your head, remember? But continue to be the high priestess and use your intuitive ability to put it out there. Continue to manifest what you're doing. Know who you are. Use your intuition. Question everything. And when you know it's right, go ahead and speak your voice. Okay? Because in the end, 6 of Wands, and that's pure and utter victory. We win. And this high priestess, remember, she can be in the ascension card too because she's going up. Her body, her chakras are focused upwards. Okay? She's ascending. Yes, thank you. Here's your confirmation on that one. It can't get any better than this. You can't make this up. The Sun card, so beautiful. Manifesting, positivity, greatest outcome that you can get. Look at the beautiful light that comes from it. Okay? Now look, remember, he can be a little tricky, but he's well aspected. He's not carrying the burden anymore. Now he's wrapping up his day's work. You worked for it, you're done. You just gathered your bundle, you're going to the house. Time for supper, as we would say in the South. Going to the house. Okay? So remember, well aspected with the Sun, it doesn't mean that you keep carrying the burden. It means you're done for the day. You've done your work. Now rest. And the final outcome and your final advice is the 6 of Pentacles, and that's the big humanitarian card, giving and receiving. We did our work. We took the advice and everything that they were giving us, and we put it right back out there into the intel community as a collective. And here's your reward. Manifestation. We did both. We did everything. And I also love the fact that they ended it with it because your reward, this is also my RV card. This is also my RV card. So yes, we manifested as an earthly pentacle, but we manifested a physical pentacle, and that's my RV card as well. Y'all were loyal, and you stuck in there. So here's my gift, and this is what you're going to do with it. For humanitarian purpose. It's humanitarian. It's an RV card. It's giving and receiving. Okay? I hope that makes you feel better. So If the anons are getting a little props in the news, don't let it go to your head. Keep yourself grounded. But understand, yes, the Alliance is recognizing the work that we've done. Okay? Does that make you feel any better? I hope, because you should. You want me to talk about what I did this week? Do you mean my public experiment that I did? I did a social experiment the other night. That's one thing that I did. I've done lots of things. I'm glad you like that message, Michael. One more is Q. That is with Ron Giles of Love One Society. The real deal or not Q just came aboard with Love One Society and only was with us for a few months, and it makes me wonder if he's good. It's a whole lot to take in. Q. That is with Ron Giles. I don't know who that is, but I don't need to know. I'll pull it based on your energy and what you're giving me. Love One Society, the real deal. So are they good, or if he's good or not good? Let's just do a yes or no. Would you be happy with that, Michael? Okay, Nadia, I'll get to the social experiment. So you just want to know if he's good. Okay. All right. Well, let's just ask. So it's Ron Giles. So I want the energy to go in the cards. Ron Giles of Love One Society is either real deal or not. Okay. Just simply ask. And you said he was only with us for a few months, so I'm assuming that he ascended. He passed on. Oh, got a card that just flew out. I think that might be him. Okay. Is Q real? Well, you don't even need cards for that. But yeah, is Q real? Yeah, that's okay. We can change it. I'm asking the card, do you want me to keep that? And they said, yes, keep it because it still means the same thing. Okay. All right. Is Q real? Oh, yeah. I just saw the base card. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. He joined Love One Society. I got you, Michael. Okay. So we're just asking, is the Q real? Okay. That's all we're asking. We're just going to do a yes or no basis. Now, whatever it tells us on the energy after that, we'll just run with it, okay? Whatever it tells me. All right. We're splitting. And it said keep the card that got spit out, and that's this. And I'm going to lay it down. Okay, that would make sense. Okay, that represents you. I'll get to it in a second. I need to hear. You two over there tearing stuff up. Okay. All right, Michael. So we simply wanted a yes or no. Is Q real? Okay, fine. And then you said this person is Love One Society. Okay. So the card that got spit out is the Three of Pentacles, and that's our community card. We are asking because that's our community. That right? Okay. All right. Well, the Q boards, because it's Q plus, Q plus plus. I mean, it's just a handful of people, but Q is one identity, Mary, if you wanted to know. But we're just simply asking, part of the community, absolutely huge. But here's the outcome of this. A lot of people have the fear of the unknown about the truth, the swords, not understanding I can't see you. I don't know what's truth. Is this real? Okay. in the past, because we've put a lot of work into this, okay, we recognize the Seven of Pentacles. I have harvested, I have put all the work in, and now I'm waiting for the harvest, okay? Like, please, I have manifested and done everything you've asked me to do. Now what? Now here's your answer. Here's current. Wait for that message. Michael's like, I just asked you that. What's the message? I'm just saying. Now, here you are currently. What is the answer? Pay attention. The answer is Q is part of the off-world community. This is the star card. It is very real. Just because you can't tangibly touch, see, and do anything with it does not make it not real. And then you said the person passed. When you have the death card. But this is an ascension because it's sitting beside the star card. Death means a long transformation into the off world, the ascension process, okay? Q is very real. Why is Q there? Because of the Four of Wands, and that's my We the People. And that's not a United States answer. That is a humanitarian answer. Because of the people. I love how Spirit says, but there are certain things that you're not allowed to know. Your confirmation is the Two of Pentacles. He came up again. He goes, because now we have to find a balance. We're manifesting all these things. Do you know that you are Q as well? I love how Spirit just said that. It says, please understand who you are. The collective. It started out with Three of Pentacles. Now you have the Two of Pentacles. This is a balance of understanding who you are. They just got you to realize who you were. Don't get discouraged with this. Because remember, normally this card comes up and we're like, oh crap, it means illusion, you're being tricked. Because it's well aspected, you can't say that. When the Seven of Cups comes up, it means they've given you many choices and things to look at, okay? It means you're just kind of at a stalemate looking at all these things in front of your face going, which do I pick? Which do I pick? This is not illusion as in you're being tricked. Because the contract is you've got lots of choices. They tell you different things, and now you have to stop and think about it. What does it mean, right? That's how Q works, correct? Your final card. Now, come on. Now, come on. Come on. What is that? What is that? It's the Seven of Wands. This was so strategically done because they have to get you involved. So strategically done. It's brilliant. Q is very real for the yes. Q is very real. But we're not looking at the whole big picture because you are also Q. You know how they say, well, I'm not God, but then you can stand back and go, well, I kind of am. I'm God-like. I'm made in the image of God. I'm the spark of God. That's kind of how you need to look at Q. Now, if I've lost you, okay, that's okay. But as far as a yes or no and not asking real specifics, Q is very real. I just saw it. Your base card, and I said, because Wing says, well, they just really want to know why Q was created. You want your base card? Why was Q created? The Justice card. To serve justice. And I know I just saw it. For all of humanity and we the people. I looked at both of them, how they were laid out. And I went, wow, that was brilliant. And the next one beside of it was the death. Death to the old ways. This cat is on crack. I hope that answers your question. You're very welcome, darling. Yep. Yeah, and I think that's why we got the star card. the ascension process is very complicated. So I believe that that is exactly what they're trying to tell us. Yep. I think it's brilliant. We may not know all the intricate details of how they did it. Why? Well, we know why, because we just got justice and we got for all of humanity. Perfect. Death to the old ways, the Canaanites, and all the stuff that we're trying to wrap our brains around. But at the end of the day, just like the last one that I did, and I said, why are we now being recognized as we're not nuts? Because eventually we get vindicated for being loyal and knowing who our intuitive ability and our higher selves are. If you ever get down and discouraged and distracted by stuff, when you give up your sovereignty and go, okay, and you just kneel, there's no vindication in that. There's only surrender. When you stand your ground, vindication does come. I promise you. And they just gave us a bite of it. Are you going to hang in there? You going to hang in there? It's an honest question. You going to hang in there? Because I'm not going to let you fall. Because that's what I'm here for. I'm not going to let you fall. Before I let you go, because we've gone almost 2 hours, I want to talk about starting on Monday. This is what I'm going to do. Now, this is trial and error, and we're just going to see where it goes, okay? We're just going to see where the energy goes. If it works, it works. If not, we'll make adjustments. Monday mornings is going to be Monday mornings coffee with Jen, okay? Start out the week so we can get together as a collective and get our focus right for the week, where our energy's at and what we're determined to do, okay? You get to look at this, no makeup and drinking coffee and one eye open and starting the week just like everybody else. We'll keep it real here. Do I have a specific time? I'm Eastern Standard. It makes no sense for me to do this at 8 o'clock when on the West Coast, they're still asleep at 5 a.m. Well, some people are. So I'm thinking, let's split the balance. Would 10 a.m. be okay, or do you want 9 o'clock? That's Eastern Standard Time. 9 or 10 Eastern Standard Time in the morning. What works better for you? 6 o'clock Pacific may still be too early. I will go with the majority rules. You tell me. So on Mondays, it will be coffee with Jen, and we'll get started with the week, okay? Wednesdays, I'm going to do the afternoon show, meaning probably around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay? Because it's late enough in the day, maybe a lunch hour, but it's early enough before Lee gets home and then I can refocus. And then Friday evenings will be like a 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time recap of the week and everything we've heard all week long, and then we'll pick it apart. Now, does that mean that I'm not going to have shows in between? No, it does not. But I said a permanent 3-day a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay. Morning, afternoon, evening. That's the only thing that I'm putting in writing right now. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, I will adjust it. Okay. Because I still want to squeeze in extra evening shows. We're always going to have breaking news. I still want to do Zoom meetings and meditation with Nadia. This is just what I'm starting with, okay? How does this sound? 10 for like the morning show. Okay, so a lot of you are Central Time. So 10 for you guys is 11 for me. Do you want me to do it that way? I need you to base this on my time because Jen's brain don't work that way. Eastern Standard Time, 10 Central Time for you is 11 for me. Does that make sense? For Monday morning shows. 10's good from everybody beyond Eastern Standard. That means it's 11 o'clock for me. Are we on the right page? 5 by 5 thumbs up. That's all I ask. That's fine. It doesn't matter. What works best for you? Okay? That just means 11 a.m. on Monday mornings. That just means 10 a.m. for most of you. Okay, perfect. So 11 a.m. on Monday morning, we'll do coffee with Jen, and that gives everybody, and then it gives everybody all the way till 8 a.m. on Pacific time. Get it? I had to math there. Yep. Wait, now Nadia says 9 my time. What? 9 my time would be 8 a.m. your time, Nadia, because you're central. And it would mean 5 a.m. on Pacific time. Is that right? 5, 2, 3, no, 6. 6. Good Lord Jesus. Why are we mathing? Everybody says 10. Nadia says 9 my time. Go the other way in math, Nadia. Add an hour, don't subtract an hour. Nadia's karaoke. She's out there. Now, before I let you go, while you guys all figure out the math and the time, as of right now, this is what I'm going to tell you. As of Monday morning, I will go live at 11 a.m. That means when I get up in the morning, I'll put a little ticker up there that says, Morning Coffee with Jen, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay? Normally, YouTube adjusts to your schedule. Okay. Dumpling don't care. She's just up anyway. All right. Yeah, see? Nadia's all over the place. We love her. Nadia wanted me to share with you guys my social experiment that I did this week, and I shared with her. I went to the grocery store, and you know how a lot of times we all just try to keep to ourselves because everybody was brainwashed for 2 years. Stay away from everybody, 6 feet apart, don't talk to each other, don't get in each other's faces. Well, I never complied. Freaked a lot of people out because I'm, believe it or not, Jen can be a social butterfly. I love talking to people. Now, if you're stupid, then no. But you know what I'm saying? So I went out. I went to the grocery store. The energy, because I'm trying to gauge the energy of the collective, even if you are asleep. Okay, let's just play it nice. I was trying to gauge the energy of the people that are around me while I still shop for groceries. And you know what? I paid attention to the energy, and it's so sad. Normally, light workers can recognize each other because you kind of give a wink and a nod, and we get each other. The energy was so down and so depressed. Now, of course, inflation, prices, all that brings everybody down. But I also went later in the evening. People are tired. I take all that in consideration. But there's different levels of energy and chakra auras that I look for. So I did a social experiment and I said, I'm looking for those colors and the auras around people based on what I felt energetically. And I walked up to some of the most depressed people energetically. And you know what? The only thing that I did? I just said, Hi, how are you? And this happened more so in the meat aisle because the prices are insane. $54 for a pot roast. Give me a break. We eating spam in a can. I ain't doing that. But the energy with the person, I walked up. We did find good deals. And we were looking at turkeys and we were breaking stuff down. Just me opening my mouth and saying, it could be better, it could be worse. Man or woman all had the same reaction. They go, well, it definitely could be better. And then they stopped and they went, but you're right, it could be worse. Long story short, the longer I stood there and I said, well, I don't mention politics. I don't do that. I said, well, by the end of the day, the only thing that matters is that our loved ones are taken care of and they know that we're doing our best to take care of them. And that's kind of how it just snowballed. Conversations, won't go into all the details. And by the time I left them, they were smiling, shaking my hand, saying, you have a blessed day. Thank you so much. It's a social experiment as an empath to prove to people that if we would get off the wallflower, and talk to people and put your energy out there and get them to see the brighter side of things, you have the ability to change everything, even briefly. So what? They walk to the next apartment and then they get depressed again because milk's $8 a gallon. But at least they can remember taking that pack of meat out or whatever they're doing. It's just an example, and go, hey, I remember that lady that actually cheered me up for 30 seconds or 8 minutes, 10 minutes, because I was there for a while. What we can do as a collective, I was just trying to sum it up into a social experiment. Do we really have the ability to do it? And everywhere I went, I didn't have one bad experience. No one flipped me the bird. No one says, go to hell, lady, because I don't know you. Everybody had the general consensus of, yeah, everybody's in the same shithole right now, and this is what we need to do. It doesn't take any more energy to say, but we're going to be okay, than it does to walk up and bitch with them. Does that make sense? Consciously think about how you talk to people. You can collectively share and complain. We do it every night here that we're on. I do it. You listen to me. I listen to you. We do it. And how do we turn out at the end of it? Don't we look at the bright side of things? And we say, now, what are we going to do about it? We can recognize it, but what are we going to do about it? Does that make sense? You can do the same thing in the grocery store. Walk up and pretend you're talking to Jen. Walk up and pretend you're talking to Nadia, Christine, Dragonfly, any of you. Walk up to a brother and pretend it's Michael. Michael, don't get mad today. You're going to smile, and I love you. And I want you to see the bright side of things. This is what we do with each other. You talk to them the same way you would us, without the FUs from Jen's mouth. You love on them and say, I get it. And if you don't know how to start it the same way I did. You're looking down at a food item or whatever you're doing and go, man, those prices. But could be worse. Could be better, but it could be worse. That's your starting point. They'll either or they'll answer you, and most likely they'll answer you. Find a common bond. They are part of your collective. And the collective hive has the same buzz. Just listen for it. Okay? Does that make sense? So much love to you as well, Michael. I'm not going to keep you. Yeah, I'm already pushing 2 hours. Over 2 hours. So real quick, that was my social experience for the week. Now, before I let you go, you want your oracle cards as a collective tonight, so I don't have to make a separate video and get yelled at. All right. Collective oracle cards for the night. That means spirit, universe, our creator. This is what they want us to know as a collective to go on through the weekend. And then I think I'm going to pull these on Monday to get us started in the week. And then I'm going to pull them again on Friday to see where we ended up. Okay. I just think that's a good way of gauging us. Okay. You go walk your babies. Go do what you need to do. Watch the replay on this if you need to. Speaking of, that's the first card. It's got fur babies on it. Trust your instinct. That means your intuitive ability to know what you're talking about and how you feel. If you know it feels right, go with it. If you know it feels wrong, if you hear news and go, well, that don't seem right. We need to get back to trusting our gut. Remember? They harp at that all the time. Trust your intuitive ability, okay? Your higher self. Get it aligned. Does that make sense? Here's your next one. Now, this one can be a little bit confusing, but please understand, these are chakra or oracle cards. So, mysticism is understanding the mystery behind everything, but recognizing that there is mystery behind everything, and you may not know exactly what it is right away. But if your instinct tells you it's right or wrong, let the mystery play itself out. It's not in front of your face. It's not what you think it is. You will be told in time, but right now, maybe not. Maybe it's not the right time. Let the mystery play out, but trust your instinct of whatever the mystery is. Now, the outcome, and this is beautifully done, and thank you, Creator, for doing this. Final one is bittersweet. So you got to instinct something's right or wrong. No matter what the mystery is of what is right or wrong, understand the outcome can be bittersweet. You let go of the negative and embrace the positive. But I want to hold on to all of it. No, it's bittersweet because you got to close the door to reopen a new door. Does that make sense? Letting go of old energy to introduce new energy. So they go beautifully together. Okay? I'm not going to keep you. 2 hours, 10 minutes. But those are your oracle cards as a collective at the end of the week. Okay? If I do not see you this weekend, okay, because of family and all that, I will see you Monday morning. I'll put a little thumbnail up. And we're going to shoot for 11 o'clock my time. That's Eastern Standard Time. Okay? Most of you are Central, so that's 10 your time. Everybody will figure out the math eventually. But I promise to keep doing what I'm doing. If you like the updates, the text messages, the emails, the Facebook Messenger, hey, just a reminder here, going to go live, then fine. If you can't, and you got to work and you got to do your thing, go do your thing. But you'll know about it, okay? I love y'all. Thank you for all popping in. I hope we answered some questions tonight. You feel a little bit better. Keep the energy high vibrations. You know that. Everyone, Lobesley.
Love you.
Magic Mike himself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Hey.
Magic Mike.
Hey, Michael's the one that gave you that title.
Yeah.
We love you.
I can't dance. So.
Is that lack of talent or just old age? Let's just say both.
No, both. Okay. Yeah,
all right.
Both.
All right.
Both.
So, anyway, thank you for joining me tonight. I do love all of you. Y'all just keep doing your thing. High vibrations and energy. If you need me, you know how to get a hold of me. Okay? Everything's in the description box. Let's just keep doing our thing. And next week, we'll try to start a little bit of a permanent schedule. Okay? Like I said, I'm available all the time. You know that. All right? Good night, y'all. Oh, y'all, I love you. I love you. Love and light. Some shh. We're going to be okay. We're going to be all right. All right? Get your questions ready, whatever you need. You see something happening going on in the news, and you're like, I need to write that down for Jen to ask. Write it down. It's okay. Keep a Post-it note. I do. I keep them around here all the time. Right now, it says I need to get pull-ups and toilet paper. I don't think we need to pull cards on that. But you know what I'm saying. I love you guys. You enjoy. You have a blessed weekend. And if you don't hear from me, I'll see you Monday. If something huge happens this weekend, you may see me pop on. Okay? But I do love you. Love you. Once again, Lobe and light. I said it. Now I'm saying Lobe and light. A little bit of that too. I love you, darlings. Love all y'all. Yep. Barter. We're going to barter. How can I barter? I'm going to figure that out. I'm going to trade the kids in for the pull-ups and toilet paper, but then that doesn't make any sense because then I don't need the pull-ups. Never mind. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. Thank you. Thank you, Victoria. You're so funny. Love you, darlings. I will talk to you later. Y'all be blessed, be safe, and enjoy your weekend. Love y'all.